Why is Alice a bad friend to Bella? I've talked in detail about why Alice really is simply not the morally superior Cullen in any way for many reasons, but as far as her relationship with Bella, I believe it mirrors Bella's relationship with Edward very much, in that Alice can be just as manipulative as Edward. She does not care about Bella's wishes or wants or even her well-being beyond when it benefits her or Edward. And I think a good descriptor of their relationship as a whole is, as I always say, Alice is not Bella's best friend, she's Edward's best friend. From the very beginning, Alice is integral in orchestrating Edward and Bella's relationship, which in and of itself is a very selfish thing to do, in my opinion. It's quite clear that was for their benefit, certainly not Bella's. It was for Edward, yes, and Alice wanted something to play with. And likewise, Alice treats Bella like an accessory purse dog, and as Bella says herself, her guinea pig Barbie. And Bella hates it. She's constantly forcing her to do things she doesn't want to do and wear things she doesn't want to wear. She doesn't pay attention to the things Bella likes or doesn't care. Her and Edward force Bella to go to prom, and I do mean force and trick her because they didn't tell her that's what they were doing. She dresses Bella up and makes a mannequin out of her, and Bella expresses she doesn't want to do that and she doesn't want to be her guinea pig Barbie, and Alice tells her to be quiet. She says, I don't remember my human life, so I'm living vicariously through you, so you'll deal with it. And in the outtake, she's like, are you gonna stay still, or do I have to get Jasper to hold you down? And then when Bella realizes they're making her go to prom, which she very adamantly didn't want, she's so upset she starts crying, and Edward's like, why are you crying? And this was not like a one-time thing, this is just what Alice does and continues to do for the rest of the series, like notably her birthday party. Bella specifically did not want that, and Alice was like, oh, you have to let us have some fun. And I would think that Bella's best friend would be considerate of what she wants on her birthday, but not on the Cullens' watch. And there's multiple instances of Alice making Bella wear something she doesn't want to wear or do something she doesn't want to do, not least of all the wedding. Bella didn't even want to get married, and Edward manipulated her into getting married. And I don't want to hear any back talk about that because that is quite literally what he did at his geriatric age, something she specifically did not want. And she certainly doesn't want to have a big production wedding, and Alice guilts her into it and says, if you really love me, you'll let me do this, Bella. And so Alice does the whole thing despite the fact that it makes Bella uncomfortable, and she has nothing to do with her own wedding. And it's emphasized to the point where when Jacob receives that condescending wedding invitation that Bella specifically noted that she didn't want sent, but Edward sent anyway, Jacob knows right away that Bella had nothing to do with it because it's so not her style and that she probably doesn't even like it. Of course, Alice is also notorious for not just enabling, but quite literally aiding and abetting Edward in his manipulative, controlling schemes. Like when Edward forbids Bella from seeing Jacob and her friends at La Push and disables her car so she can't go there, he also goes so far as to enlist Alice to help him to babysit Bella and kidnap her. And Alice happily goes along with it because Edward bribed her with a Porsche. And not least of all, but if Alice is supposed to be Bella's best friend, she is just as guilty for abandoning Bella without a trace in New Moon and leaving her completely unprotected. But that's the thing, she's not Bella's best friend, but the really troublesome part is she claims rights to that title after doing absolutely nothing to earn it or demonstrate that she cares about Bella at all, like in New Moon when she had the unparalleled audacity to saunter back to Forks, quite literally act like she owns the place, and start hurling racist rhetoric at Jacob without ever speaking a word to him. It's not only vile in that regard, but is completely dismissive of Bella and her feelings and her friend, and has the gall to be like, Bella, werewolves are not good company to keep. I can't see past you and your pack of mutts, when Jacob literally had just fished Bella out of the ocean and had been protecting and caring for her this whole time, all the while her awesome family, including her Confederate husband who tried to eat Bella at the birthday party she didn't even want to have, and her very safe brother who rectified that situation by yeeting Bella into a glass table, taking her outside, lying to her face, destroying her self-esteem, and abandoning her, were nowhere to be found. And if Bella hadn't been keeping company with werewolves, she would have been long since 86 because of problems that you created. And Confederate wife chose to take this opportunity opportunity to be like, ugh, dogs, you smell bad, Bella. BFF. And I do very much believe that Alice always knows more than she's letting on and is very much a schemer. And I think it's summed up well when, towards the end of Twilight in the book, Bella thinks, oh, Alice and I were friends now, just like she said we would be, when they had spent no time together and Alice did nothing to prove that she was a friend. It's very much tell, don't show, very much projection, and very much love bombing. Bella thinks Alice is her friend because that's what she tells her. And Alice wanted a little introverted, awkward Barbie to play with and indoctrinate into her weird human cosplay cult. And I really do think so much about how Alice is such a key player in all the doom and destruction. And there are just so many moments where it's like, if Alice had just minded her business this one time, imagine what could have been. So many instances, you know, like just what we missed out on. I think about it all the time. If she had just not showed up in New Moon, what could have been, you know? But she was never gonna do that. The way we were. On a personal level, I'll never get over it, but objectively, it has always bothered me that Alice was referred to as Bella's best friend because she never did anything to demonstrate that.